We only top out near 24. Light north winds at around 10. Heading into tonight, we'll drop all the way down to 4 for the low before bouncing back somewhat as we get into our Wednesday. Seasonal temperatures return with partly cloudy skies and an afternoon high of 37. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. It's time to go one-on-one with DP. Coming at you live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios. Here is your host, Derek Pearson. Presented by Beatrice Bakery on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
One-on-one on 97 The Ticket, 402-464-5685. You can reach out to the Starter Heyman text line, Honda Lincoln hotline if you want to call in and be heard. Hit me with a what's up, and we'll have a conversation. And the Starter Heyman live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. You can communicate with us there as well through the chats, but you can see what's going on in studio. A couple of interesting things along the way. Again, we've been talking about the greatest games ever played. We're also Rico's question of the day.
This is a good one.
Was a good one. I must confess. The text line did get one of them right. They popped up with Utah that I should have known, but I would have thought that the Keith Van Horn, Andre Miller Utes that ended up at the Final Four at some point would have reached number one.
When did Maryland win their national championship?
91, 92 maybe?
Okay, because Utah won a championship in 1944. The AP poll didn't start till 49.
Right.
So I don't know Maryland won their national championship if the AP poll put them at number one, but this is teams that have never been number one in the AP poll.
Okay.
Utah spent 239 weeks in the top 25 AP poll, highest ranking of number 2.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really good team. So that's where I thought they would cross over. BYU would fall in that category as well, probably.
They are not here, so they've either made it or they haven't been in the top 25.
Maybe the
enough.
Danny Ainge years being, I would imagine. That's the only time that BYU would have been number one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it says these are the 8 men's basketball programs that have spent the most weeks in the AP poll without ever reaching number one. So there's probably a couple there that just haven't been, because like I said, the least amount of weeks is one of the teams you haven't got, so I'm just going to tell you anyways. Florida State, 184 weeks, highest ranking of number 2. They played for the national title in 72, and the next season they started at number 2, but they've never been number 1.
Yeah, that's
currently under Leonard Hamilton. They have peaked at number 4 in the 2020 season.
They were number 4 until Trey McGowan and Pitt came down there and gave him what for?
Gave him the business.
Yeah, and knocked them out of the top 5. Pitt, I would have put in that conversation, being in the Big East, and unless the Jerome Lane years.
There are 2, 3 that you have yet to get.
Okay.
One of them.
Let's go down south.
Yes, 2 of them down south.
Let's go down south. I'm tempted to say LSU, but I will not. I will say, because I think the Shaq LSU Tigers never got to number 1. Never got to
number 1.
Okay.
223 weeks. Okay. Highest they've gotten is number 2.
Okay. Staying in the South. Miami has never been number 1, but I don't know if they have enough weeks.
Not enough weeks.
Texas A&M.
Not enough weeks, or they've made it. Stay in the SEC, though.
Kentucky, Alabama.
Maybe not enough weeks.
Okay. Vanderbilt, no. Really? Vanderbilt?
204 weeks. Highest they've gotten is number 2.
Wow.
They haven't been ranked since 2016, but before then, they were in the top 25 for a long time.
Temple was number 1 with Mark Macon and company.
They are not on here. You've got one team left, and you got to go north.
Okay. I think Minnesota.
236 weeks. Highest they've gotten is number 2. We got them all.
Poor DP.
First guess. All right.
You tell me in the North. Well, you think about it. So my cousin played. Joe Jackson played at Minnesota, and I remember some of the stories, even the McHale days, and then recently they've been close, but no cigar.
Mm-hmm. They've only made the tournament 14 times in program history, so that's
Yeah.
about 3.5 times per decade,
Yeah.
on average over the last 40 years. They were a number 1 seed in '97 when they made the Final Four, and a number 2 seed in '82.
That was the '82 year. Was my cousin's year.
6 different seasons in which the Gophers AP poll ranking peaked in the top 5, and those seasons came under 5 different coaches. Still searching for their first number 1 ranking.
It ain't
ever.
all Purdy. It ain't all Purdy. Wow, that's good stuff. That's good. That's a good question. Again on
I was looking
Tuesday.
for a different question, actually.
Yeah, okay, but you can give me another question.
I'm still trying to remember who, because I can't find it now, because I saw it yesterday after Auburn reached number 1. This is the second time, not ever, but since I think 2016, that 2 teams who have never been ranked number 1 got to number 1. I don't remember what season it was, but it was the season Louisville got to number 1. There was another team that season that reached it for the first time in their history, and I think it was 2016.
But I was at that Final Four. Yeah, Becky and I were at that Final Four.
So it was Louisville and some other team that season.
Who was there in 2016?
I'm just going to look up the
Michigan was there.
2016.
Michigan was there, I believe.
But they'd been number 1 before.
Syracuse was there. And the 4th team is the team that is of issue.
It was. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong one.
The Final Four that I was at with Louisville.
Because it was the year they won it, right?
Yeah, Louisville. Or maybe they didn't win it that year. Maybe they lost in the championship game.
Louisville Cardinals men's basketball.
Louisville, Michigan was there.
2013?
Okay.
That is when they won it.
Yeah. Who was in that Final Four?
Let me check. 2013 Final Four.
I just remember really good crowds.
Because that was the year
Really good crowd.
Kevin Ware broke his leg, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was
Really
terrifying.
good year.
Louisville, Michigan, Syracuse, Wichita State.
Wichita State is why I don't remember.
It was
Wichita
their second
State
Final
is why I
Four.
don't remember. Yeah, which is why I don't remember.
Luke Hancock was the player of the tournament.
Where was that tournament at?
That was in Atlanta.
That's probably why we went. That's probably why we went. Because Becky's mom was living in Atlanta at the time. So that was an excuse. Any excuse we had to like visit family or friends, and there was a major sporting event. That was wow. We figured out what we were gonna do. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Well, apparently that title was vacated, so that is
yeah. Gretna.
So there was there is no 2013 Final Four champion.
Officially. Yeah, bags of money.
Give it to Michigan.
Bags of money. Yeah, Michigan asked for it. Michigan actually asked for it.
But can we have it?
Yeah, they asked for it. They really did.
Cannot.
But, yeah. So yeah, it makes further sense because Griff lived in Atlanta at the time, and he's a Michigan fan, and so he was also at the Final Four. Yeah, that was. It's amazing.
So
like I have to put pieces together in my head.
Had a good time.
He did until they lost.
Oh,
and then
who was the player of the year in 2013?
Tournament player of the year?
No, just regular Naismith and Wooden player of the year.
2013. It was. He didn't make the Final Four.
He did not.
He did not make the Final Four.
He lost in the second round, I believe.
Mm-hmm. 2013.
He had the highest. The highest vertical at the combine that year.
He is in the league.
He's on his 3rd team. 3rd? I'm gonna say 3rd.
Oh, Buddy Hield.
Nope.
No,
Buddy Hield's still on his 1st team. He's still with Sacramento.
Is he?
Mm-hmm.
That's sad. That's very
It's
sad.
very sad.
It's very sad.
Very sad, actually.
It's very sad.
He is
Villanova.
Mostly known as a shooter. Same conference.
Who?
Doug McDermott.
That's why I don't remember that. I
He had
blocked,
people forget he had the
I-
highest vertical at the combine that
I
year.
blocked that out in my head. I blocked that out.
Dude's athletic.
No, but
People only see him as a shooter.
I blocked that out of my brain.
Dougie McBuckets.
I don't maybe that entire year.
I think he's on his third because he was with Chicago, then Indiana. Now he's with San Antonio. I don't think there's another team in there.
I think I blocked that out in my head. I think that's
Nebraska fans love Doug McDermott, right?
I think that's fair that I blocked that out in my head. For whatever reason, I chosen not to remember
You
that.
guys are crazy.
No, there's that. We have a couple of nominations for the Beatrice Bakery Care Package. If you folks want to participate in this thing, again, go to theticketfm.com, find the Beatrice Bakery banner, click on it, and tell us about your nominee. Tell us what they do, why they are important to you, and why you want them, why you want to make them smile. Here's one. The nominee is Pete Dennis and family, Cedars Foster Care. Pete is a loyal, dedicated, extremely hardworking dad, foster parent, and foster care worker for our youth who have endured abuse, neglect, or have problems with the legal system in Nebraska. Pete has volunteered extensively with Team Jack, and he's got a true natural spirit for working with the children and families to help them be safe and for their needs to be met and best interest to be sought. Pete is a loving parent and spouse, and he takes great pride in being a former foster parent while also working for the leading foster care nonprofit agency in the region. Pete is a class act and one of the most genuine and dedicated professionals I've ever had the chance to work with. He's lost some friends in recent weeks, and he's endured some challenging days, which life sometimes brings in a way that is courageous and resilient. The Pete Dennis household family would be very worthy recipient of the Beatrice Bakery Care Package. He's also a proud Navy and Army veteran. Thank you for considering this nominations. That is Jason Danner, a proud long-time listener of 93.7 The Ticket. Jason, we will take that contact information and put together a care package for Mr. Pete Dennis and family. We will do that courtesy of Beatrice Bakery and 93.7 The Ticket. There is another nomination that I want to get to because on 2 show days, I think, this is the right way to do it. The categories: teachers, the office staff at Lincoln Southeast High School. Our office staff has worked tirelessly to ensure that things continue to run smoothly throughout the pandemic. They're constantly dealing with students that are excluded from the classroom due to illness, taking phone calls from parents inquiring about current COVID protocols, or picking up the slack when other staff members are out due to illness. This is all in addition to their normal duties. Our office staff is truly the engine that keeps this building running, and we're incredibly grateful for their efforts. Well, Gary, thank you for putting that nomination in, and I will say this: we will put together a care package for the office staff of the Lincoln Southeast High School. Why? Because we want to see you smile. You deserve the smile. Again, we once again thank Beatrice Bakery for allowing us to do this for the folks in the community. And because I'm in that mood, I'm in a make a smile mood. I will take more nominations. I'll take suggestions. If we don't get them today, we'll try to get them before the week's out. But it's an opportunity for us to make people smile simply by doing a basic thing, which is saying thank you, which is saying I see you, which is saying I hear you, which is saying I appreciate you. So we will do that today. So for those two, Rico, can you make sure I will forward you both of those emails so you have the contact information to do that for Jason and Gary. Let me make sure I send you those while I'm thinking about it, because I'll get busy and then you'll have to track me down later in the day. Will you have time to drop those off to the high school?
I will figure. It might not be today, but I'll figure it out. I have another one that I
Yeah,
have to
Gary
drop
or
off.
Jason, if you're listening, you can reach out to us. If you guys want to come by and grab the care packages, that is another way that we can get that done for you. But it will get done. That will get done. Again, I'll take more nominations. You can text those in on the text line. You can put those in if you want. Web Bucket says, I'm nitpicking, but Buddy Hill had also played all or most of his rookie year for New Orleans. I thought there was
Yeah,
a second,
I just looked it up. He got drafted by New Orleans and then traded towards the end of the season.
I
Played
thought it was a
25
second.
games.
I thought it was a second. For whatever reason, I just remember him being in a trade.
I just remember him being with the Kings the entire time. I didn't even remember that he got drafted by I can't even picture him in a Pelicans uniform. Like
The only reason I remembered that was because my buddy Big Shot, David Jovanovich, is the team equipment guy for the Pelicans.
Mm-hmm.
And so whenever we go to New Orleans, like that's a stop that we make, and he lets us, like, imagine being able to run around the Superdome or run around the Pelicans practice facility and going through it. And I like my collection of sports collectibles, but Big Shot has the greatest collection of helmets that I've ever seen. And so he trades. I'll find you some pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Rico, he has every helmet. NFL, former NFL, USFL, Division I. Like, I think he's got somewhere around 250 helmets that he has on display. And then he's also got a full display of all the he had, I don't know if he still has them, of all the Anthony Davis custom shoes that Anthony Davis wore while he was in New Orleans.
Ooh.
He's got a collection of the Corliss Williamson shoes that are down there. Of course, they never get used because he doesn't play much. But you can walk into he always walks us through into the Saints locker room and practice facility. And yeah, it's and I remember we went down there and we met Anthony Davis. We met Buddy when he was a rookie and he was there. And he might have been at the time one of the more pleasant players in the NBA.
I think he still is.
Like he had an authentic joy about being a basketball player.
No, except he played with Sacramento, so that might kind
of wane that.
Kind of ruin that a little bit. I just looked it up. Him, Tyreek Evans, Langston Galloway got traded for Boogie Cousins later in that season, his rookie season. And I'm looking at pictures of him in a New Orleans uniform, and it looks fake. Like, it all looks photoshopped. Like, there is no way
it didn't really happen.
Buddy Hield did not actually play for the Pelicans. When I picture Buddy Hield, it's the Kings. That's the only uniform he's ever worn in the NBA. He did not play for the Pelicans. It's wet blanket. I know you're right, but also you're wrong. I'm sorry.
I refuse to accept it.
I just can't.
Refuse to
like, look at the picture. Look up Buddy Hield Pelicans and look at him in the Pelicans uniform.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't look real.
Yeah. That
I refuse to accept it. And I'm not even a Buddy Hield fan, but I just can't.
I was in that Final Four. He put on quite a performance. We also saw him against North Carolina and Villanova, I believe.
I couldn't tell you.
I believe Villanova beat them at the buzzer in the championship game.
I don't know if Oklahoma made the championship game.
No, they didn't. They lost.
I think they lost.
They lost
the Sweet 16 to Elite 8.
No, they lost in the Final Four because we saw them at the Final Four.
Okay.
And
that was Trae Young lost in like the second.
Yeah,
round.
we saw them at the Final Four, and then it was North Carolina, Villanova. I believe that was the championship game. It was North Carolina, Villanova.
Was that the double clutch three? And
then
the trailing toss back.
Yeah. That was the Final Four.
That was a great game.
That was the loudest I've ever heard my wife scream at a basketball game.
That was a great game.
Like, that shot even made her scream. Like that. Normally she could go to those events and
she's like, "Oh, good job, cool.
Well played." But that was one she just kind of lost it. It was like, oh.
I watched it with my friend who's a North Carolina fan, and we just got in his face because after that double clutch three, he was like, "It's over," and he was so excited. And then they hit that shot, and we were like, "Woo!"
That one was in Houston, I believe. That may be why we went, because that might have been in Houston.
Just have to keep looking things up.
Yeah, well, look, I'm old. My memory is starting to like. I have to.
All
flash-
of the things just blend together for me now. Like everything, all the tournaments have just blended together. I'm like, yeah, this happened. Be like, nope, that was the year that this, and it's just a problem.
I have to piece together like, okay, who was I with? What were we doing? Like, what else did we do there? Like that was when we. So imagine that
It was 2016 Texas, Houston, Texas.
Yeah. Because Kareem was there at the. So they do the VIP event. It was the first time that I ran into Jim Herrick and Tyus Edney from UCLA, who I hosted in DC when they won the national title. So when they come to go to White House, I was their official host for the entire weekend.
Nice.
Oh yeah, it was pretty amazing. Imagine trying to circumvent Georgetown with national championship players from UCLA, Toby Bailey, Ed O'Bannon.
How'd you do it?
Staffing. Staffing is how that worked. Yeah, four limos in a van that would drive you from bar to bar in Georgetown. Yeah, it was rather exceptional. Very cool event.
Like, DP, why are you doing this? Be like, look, I just have to.
I'm
sorry.
This is how this works. But yeah, so because it was Houston, so imagine that Kareem, Elvin Hayes, Shaq were all in the reception area, and
that group of men would make anybody feel very short.
Well, but you also felt very blessed because to hear them talk basketball,
it's probably like an alien language to most people.
Oh, well, it was fantastic. Like because Kareem and Elvin immediately, because they were in Houston, one of the great, like we're talking about greatest games ever played. Well, high school, but when it comes to college basketball, UCLA versus Houston and the Astrodome ranks as one of the top 5 games in history, like in basketball history. So they were talking about, being in it and how things had changed and like different event, like this event, 50 years ago would have been in the Houston Astrodome. Now it's in the Toyota Center, and you just go, okay, this is pretty exceptional. But then Shaq comes in, and Shaq and actually one of his sons, Sharif, maybe, was with him.
Was he at UC? He didn't play, but
right?
I think he was at UCLA,
and he was there. And to hear like there was a dad-son conversation about the elders in the room, explaining that okay, this is royalty.
I think he's currently at LSU because he had to sit out for like 2 years after he had his heart surgery.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. Like, and again, it's so funny. Like, I go to these events, and it's always me and Becky, and you go to these events, and Becky, like, I will explain to people. I explain to her who people are. I love that she's just unaffected. Like, hey, Kareem, whatever.
It's like, yeah, that's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
That's Kareem. Like,
that's Shaquille, and she's just like,
yeah,
okay.
Hey, big dude.
Whatever.
Like,
hey, guy that I guess is really good at basketball. Whatever.
I mean,
Excuse me.
Right. She's never impressed.
You're in the way. I need a drink.
No, like she's never impressed, but constantly puts up with me in these spaces. And I think she's more curious just to watch. She goes, okay, who don't you know?
DP's got stars in his eyes, and she's like, yeah, whatever.
Well, I don't see, and that's the thing, right? There are very few people that get me starry-eyed. Like, I'll be starry-eyed tomorrow night.
Yeah.
Tom Osborne's here. Like, I'm totally going to fanboy.
Like most people do.
Yeah, like it's not going to be. Like John Thompson makes me feel like I'm 20 years old again. Joe Gibbs, like it's hey coach, hey coach, hey coach, Mr. Coach, hey coach, Mr.
How do you want me to say this?
Hey coach, Mr.
Coach, Mr. Sir Gibbs.
But most,
Your Majesty.
Yeah. Like, I mean, Dr. J.
Yeah.
Dr. J's royal. He's regal. I mean, that's just kind of the way that carries. Maybe I'll give a list of the people that like, even like that I'm in awe of.
I would like that list.
That I'm in awe, like when I'm around them, I'm extremely small. Like,
I feel like my list is a lot larger.
Well, Melo is your list. Melo is your list. Like, if you ever got in a space with Melo,
that's a lot of NBA players. Like, I'd just be like, "Hello, how are you?" Wouldn't know what to say.
Yeah,
and even some of them would be like weird to some people.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Now that I think about it, that list would be pretty interesting.
Like I feel like this would be for a lot of, but like Baron Davis. Like
Okay.
I wouldn't really.
So give me write down on. We'll go to break. When we come back, write down your list of like 5 or 10 people that if they walked in the studio or you were
I
going to
wouldn't know what to
interview,
do.
like you were interviewing.
I'm not gonna. I wouldn't be able to interview any of these people.
Right.
You could just throw that off the table. That's just not happening.
I can imagine 20 minutes of you just saying, "Hey, Mello."
Hi. Are you gonna ask a question?
Hey.
Hi.
Let's do that. We'll do that when we come back on 101.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store. You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, Ticket listeners, it's Cristiano Simonetta, the voice of the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and I for Outside the Box every Tuesday from 8 to 9 p.m. talking Stars hockey and more. Outside the Box every Tuesday from 8 to 9 p.m.
Parents, if you've been waiting for FDA approval to get your teen vaccinated, the time is now. The FDA has approved the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine for use in preventing COVID-19. While this is the first vaccine to gain FDA approval, all COVID-19 vaccines have been proven to be effective against the coronavirus. Want to reduce your teen's risk of hospitalization while protecting yourself and your community? Get your teen vaccinated today. Visit vaccinate.ne.gov to get started.
Casey's General Store is giving you the chance at winning 2 free tickets to a Nebraska home basketball game this season. Stop by any Casey's location in Lincoln throughout basketball season, enter your name into the registration box, and you'll have a chance to win 2 tickets to an upcoming Nebraska basketball game. Every drawing will occur at least 24 hours before the game that has its selected winner. So make sure to get to any Casey's in Lincoln today for your chance at 2 free tickets for Nebraska men's basketball games.
Hi, this is Sean Callahan with Koppel Chevrolet GMC. New vehicle production has been increasing, but the lots will not be filling up anytime soon. In fact, most vehicles are being pre-sold and are leaving the same week as they arrive. If you want your new Chevrolet or GMC, this is a great time to build a vehicle and place an order. Our sales team will work right with you to build the exact vehicle you want. At Koppel, we appreciate your business and sell vehicles at a fair price. So come check us out or visit us online at koppelcars.com.
Need to send a message? Send it with cake. Congratulations. Here's a congratulations chocolate rum cake from Beatrice Bakery. Thank you. Say thank you with an amaretto cake. I'm sorry that I accidentally hit your mailbox with my car as I was backing out of the driveway and then continued right into your prized petunias. You say that with a lemon drop cake. Everybody knows that. Beatrice Bakery in downtown Beatrice or online at beatricebakery.com. Here to help you say whatever it is you need to say. Welcome to our world of yum.
You spend more time in your garage than outdoors in the wintertime. Isn't it time to get it organized? Call Travis at Classic Garage Solutions for his variety of organization packages. Turn your garage from a cluttered mess to a clean, organized space that'll be the envy of the neighborhood and something you can be proud of. You don't need to bring the same clutter from last year into the new year. Travis has storage options for cabinets, monkey bar shelving, or slat wall, and more. Call Classic Garage Solutions today at 402-730-1638.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Partly to mostly cloudy skies expected here for our Tuesday. Much colder conditions. We only top out near 24. Light north winds at around 10. Heading into tonight, we'll drop all the way down to 4 for the low before bouncing back somewhat as we get into our Wednesday. Seasonal temperatures return with partly cloudy skies and an afternoon high of 37. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop. But you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at wingstop.com.
Order online now from the new Wingstop located at 5001 O Street.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger. something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Nebraska Army National Guard. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association at this station.
Back to One-on-One with DP. Presented by Beatrice Bakery on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Yeah, Wet Blanket says, I agree with you on Tom Osborne and John Thompson, but I'm not a big NASCAR fan, so Joe Gibbs does nothing for me. Oh, the Cowboys fans just can't. Just can't resist. Just can't resist.
That was a good one.
Well done. Well played. All
Touche,
right.
Wet Blanket.
Okay. I'm all for that. And
Unnamed texter, no, you wouldn't.
You really wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't.
You really wouldn't. Just people forget.
No, you wouldn't.
People forget. Like that dude's a phenom. Like
LeBron is what 6'8", 232.
LeBron hasn't been 232 since high school.
I don't know. He's slimming down.
No,
I don't know what he's
about,
at anymore.
He's about
250?
he's about 260 is what I would imagine.
257.
Yeah, he's yeah. People talk about like the rules of the game are these. Like I won't say anything about anybody if I couldn't say that to them in a room in a dark closet.
I do think Jordan is better, but I wouldn't say it.
Jordan is better, but
I wouldn't say it to him. I wouldn't tell LeBron.
Well, I mean, the approach is all. This is what
you can't just be like, "Hey, LeBron, you're number 2 all time."
Yeah, like he would just, look, little man.
He would just be like, "Okay, whatever."
Need a Snickers? Like,
I don't care.
I'll go bathe in my tub of riches.
Oh no!
And then I'll go beat
my 30,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, well, like 15,000 assists are so sad.
Yeah, and then I will go through.
My 4 rings are crying.
Oh, the nerve.
Grr.
The life.
Me being the first billionaire to be currently playing the sport is so sad.
Are you going to work today?
I don't have to, but I choose to.
Yeah. What are we doing here? So the list of people that would put you in awe.
Well, I mean, you have the obvious ones, the Tom Bradys, the Michael Jordans.
So you wouldn't know
James.
what to say to Tom Brady?
I really wouldn't. Like, I would like to think that I would.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'd just be like, I watched you growing up and I was just so amazed at everything. And then you went to Tampa and I pretended that I hated you, but I really didn't.
But as a fan, like you're a Pats fan. There's decades of conversation that you had in your head.
But at the same time, I don't know.
You don't know what you would say. Okay.
I don't know. Like how do you word like the because you have the question and you want to ask, but at the same time, you're looking at a guy that you
look at
that
you. Are you getting the Prince eyes of Tom Brady?
A little bit.
Like, don't look in his eyes.
Like,
don't look in his eyes. Don't look in his. Don't look him in his eyes.
I'll look him in his eyes.
You'll turn to stone.
I'll look him in his eyes because they're gorgeous.
You'll turn to stone. Don't look in his eyes.
I'll look him in his eyes. It'd be one of those things where I'm like,
don't do it.
How do I ask the question that I want to ask?
Right,
because first off, I want to ask it, but I don't want to come off as rude.
What do you want to ask him though?
I want to ask him, like, first off, there were many times where you had running lanes, and I know you're not the most athletic, but like you could have got some runs.
Of all the things to ask,
like why and how did you hold back from, like, you've got 5 yards of green grass in front of you? Did you hold back and make just such beautiful throws?
You are so next level. Of all the questions,
ask him why he didn't run.
If you have Tom Brady in front of you, you're going to ask him why he didn't.
Why didn't you run more?
You are a different dude.
I asked him how many times they worked on that pass back that he dropped.
Yeah. Like that one I get. Like tell me what
I want to ask if the
why'd you drop it?
I want to
Why'd
ask
you
if the
drop it?
notebook thing is true.
Like why
when he was a rookie, the story is that he went into a meeting room. Nobody was there, but Bill Belichick's notebook was there. He opened it, read it, and saw that Bill Belichick said that he was doing things great, but everything he did was too slow. He needed to speed everything up. I want to know if that story's true.
Yeah. See that's a space I can get into. Nothing
I
about.
want to know who his favorite receiver
nothing
was.
about Giselle.
I want to know who his favorite receiver was. He can't say Randy Moss or Rob Gronkowski. Because
Well,
really,
then-
I just
well, then
want
it's
to see
Edelman and
Well, I want to see who
Welker.
it is between Welker and Edelman.
Oh, okay. Who's your favorite between those two?
Between those two,
Yeah.
Honestly, Welker.
Yeah.
Even
Like-
though he dropped that stupid pass.
Okay,
Wes.
so who else is on your list?
I mean, number one, we all know
Okay.
Carmelo
So
Anthony.
You and Mello. Would you have a question for Mello? No.
Why college? Why not straight to the NBA?
Don't you already know the answer to that?
I mean, yeah, but I want to hear it. I want to hear him
Okay,
answer it.
Okay.
Because I've read it. I want to hear
Like,
him
you,
say
you,
it.
you don't want to ask who his favorite like super fan is?
It's not me.
Well, but why not?
I know it's not me.
Like that's what I would ask. Why aren't you?
Because other people have gotten interactions from him. I have not. So
Well,
I'm not the favorite.
then ask a better question.
And I'm also not as creepy as some of those other people.
Ask another question.
I would keep asking questions.
Well, ask him a question like, "Hey, okay, here's my challenge to you."
Okay.
I know you don't mind tweeting at people.
No, I don't. I find it amazing.
Yeah.
I never
And-
get replies. But
But I mean, I think if you did this, since I'm, and I would claim being his number one fan, like Mello, since I'm your number one fan, I've been asking myself this question: what question I would ask you if I ever got to interview you? And here's what I came up with. So I'm going to ask you here.
then I have to come up with a question.
Yeah,
Mm.
it has to be a
Come
good
up with
one.
A good one, yeah. It's got to be really
Like
good.
I'm like, what's it like to make out with Lala?
I almost said something. I almost said something.
We're not gonna ask him that one because I don't want you beat up. Like I don't want him to find you and track you out.
Could just ask Kevin Garnett.
No, you're a jerk. You're a jerk. That's funny.
Okay, so I've got three more on here.
Okay.
Baron Davis. I really don't know why, but it's just the Baron Davis. We believe Golden State Warriors. Like, I want to know more about that, but I don't know if I'd actually be able to ask him.
Yeah, Baron is open. Like he would ask you. I think if you tweeted to Baron, he would answer your questions. I would say there's like a 4-to-1 chance that he would better chance that he will respond than Carmelo.
Mhm.
But if it's all in the sell for Carmelo, so you're gonna have to
Oh, yeah.
sell that. Hey, I'm really your good. Like I know people
Like a-
who say they're your number one fan, but I'm really your number one fan.
Like, I want to know Baron.
Like I have every Melo jersey.
I don't, but I know people that do.
Oh, you got to catch up.
I don't have that kind of money.
Give me the list.
The people, no, there's one dude
Give me the
who
list.
I've seen his collection because he posted it. It's because he has a jersey from every year, whatever team he was on.
Mhm.
He's got all the Team USA ones. He's got the Syracuse one. He's got the Oak Hill one. He's got customized Atlanta Hawks and Chicago Bulls since he was with them for 5 minutes.
Yeah, like, but I mean,
Which I thought about doing, but I didn't.
I had a Houston Rockets Carmelo jersey.
I have one.
Yeah, like I had one of those. I was like, okay, what was I thinking?
I have one. It
Uh.
was during the 10 game
No,
stretch.
I gave you one.
No, you gave me a Dwight Howard
I
one.
gave you Dwight Howard one. Okay.
Rachel got me the Carmelo Anthony one. It's the black one. It was during the stretch.
Do
I
you
got
have
it right
all
after.
of the Syracuse jerseys?
I don't have any of the Syracuse jerseys, which is
That's a
those are the
fail.
ones I want.
Well, then you can't send him that tweet.
I know those are the ones I want.
Like, you have to prove it.
The Oak Hill. I have one Team USA one, but I want the one from 2012.
That's so weird. Okay.
Yeah.
Who else is on your list?
Calvin Johnson.
Why?
He is my favorite receiver of
He
all
didn't
time.
play for you? Like
No, he didn't. He's my favorite receiver of all time. I just loved watching him play, despite the fact that he was the only option and was always getting beat up. It was that stretch of years where it was Calvin Johnson and Andre Johnson
Mhm.
just gorgeous, just beautiful football
Just
between
mauling
those
people.
two. Yeah.
Just mauling people.
They were just built different. They're
Yeah.
massive humans. They're faster than everybody else.
Yeah.
They have massive hands. They can jump over everybody. It was just beautiful.
They were
to watch.
Metcalf before Metcalf.
It was beautiful to watch those two. And
Yeah.
just Calvin Johnson is my favorite receiver of all time. So
What would you ask him? Why'd you leave us?
I want to ask why did you retire so early,
Yeah,
but
why'd you leave us?
I think I know the answers.
Yeah.
I would want to ask if you could have played for any team during your time, any quarterback catch passes from, who would you have played for and with?
Okay. All right. And then who else?
Ocho Cinco. Even though he's wide open and he would talk to anybody, and he does.
You could tweet to him like now, and he would have an
when
answer
Twitter
he would have an
first-
answer for you by 11:30.
When Twitter first started and he was on Twitter and he was like
Mm.
the first person on Twitter, I got a Twitter and I tweeted at him and he replied because I was
You didn't save
I was
it?
a stupid high school kid.
You
No,
didn't
I don't
save it?
have it anymore.
You
Delete
didn't
it.
save it?
It was so long ago that it's
You
gone.
didn't save it?
I didn't think anything of it.
Who's the most famous person that's tweeted that's replied to you directly? Like not liked what you did, but actually
Replied to me directly.
Like replied to you and said, "Yeah." Like currently, I would think it's Michael Caton, but I'm not sure.
It might be.
Like,
I don't get many replies.
Well, it
I
might
get a
be
lot of
in-
likes.
it
I've
might
had
be-
Team USA Track and Field like a tweet.
No, not the likes. I mean an actual reply. Like we're gonna have to go through.
I have to go
and
through it.
elevate. So we're gonna elevate.
I don't get many. The Las Vegas Aces.
Okay, so if if I got you a Carmelo Syracuse jersey,
Okay.
you would have to tweet to Carmelo, Ocho,
Mm-hmm.
Calvin,
Mhm.
Baron
Baron
Davis.
Davis.
Just those four.
I mean, I would do that right now. I don't know what I would say.
Well, but say something good, but because you,
I know, that's the problem.
Because you're saying it to get I want you to get a reply.
Yeah. That's the problem.
Like to get a reply.
Honestly, I just ask. People have been doing this lately with Ocho. They've just been asking for cash, and he's just like, "Yeah, what's your cash app?"
No, well, you could ask for cash too if you want.
I'm not gonna ask him for cash.
No, what you want is you ask for cash so you can buy a Carmelo Syracuse
Hey,
jersey.
Ocho, can I get enough money to buy a jersey of yours?
Yeah.
And then he'd be like, "Nah, bro, I'll send you
Okay,
one. I'll
yeah,
sign it."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Bro, thank you so much."
Well, Melo, that might be a way. Like
Melo's busy right now.
well,
The Lakers are
yeah,
struggling.
Well, no, but I mean, he needs a distraction. How about you say, "Hey, Melo, my boss says if you reply to this tweet, he will purchase me one of your Syracuse jerseys."
Okay.
Let's see what happens.
Okay. I will do that during the break.
We're gonna work the system. Let's go.
I need everybody that's listening to retweet it so that it gets to
Yes,
him.
yes, we can do that.
Because then it'd be like, you are being a tweet you were mentioned and is being retweeted by so and so.
You're just like stalker.
Even though he's verified, so they have totally different Twitters.
Yeah.
So like the regular people
Mhm.
mentions are in one, and they don't pay attention to those.
I'm-
and then
I-
the verified people mentions are a different one.
I
That's the
need
other one
to. I need to
pay
go ahead
attention
and get verified. I need to do that.
Do it.
I somebody said that when we saw your Wikipedia page, you should be verified. And I'm
For
like,
the longest time, that was my goal, is to get the blue check mark on
I just-
Twitter, and then I just gave up because it's never going to happen.
like I can think of 3 times where I sat down to go through
Just
the
fill it
process,
out.
and I never did. And I was just
Just
like,
fill it out.
okay, I don't even like
We should get the station verified.
the station needs to be verified.
I don't know why the station's not verified.
Mark Onweiler.
Mark,
Mark Onweiler.
because then we can tweet at verified people from the station account.
Right. And it's much easier. I do know this. It's much easier to get verified if you work at a verified place.
Hey, Jay Foreman's verified.
But Jay Vorman has not verified me, so that
true.
is a terrible thing. Okay, so we'll get that. All right, I'll give him my list when we come back.
About the fight web blanket.
Yeah, he's on a day today.
People are so rude.
And it is a great day. Adam Carricker will be on with Rashawn Jackson at 12:10, but Coach McBride is going to be his guest as well on today's version of the Captain Show. So you do not have permission to leave. Stay tuned, hang out, but we'll close out one-on-one when we come back.
Watch live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. You're listening to One on One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Early break with Sip and Jake.
Pleased and honored to be joined by Nebraska volleyball coach John Cook.
If Trev wasn't interested, I would have done it in a heartbeat because I just felt like Nebraska athletics, we were at the edge of the cliff. You know, we had to do something, get somebody in here to build this athletic department back up. I thank my lucky stars every day that Trev's our guy now.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey, Ticket listeners, it's Cristiano Simonetta, the voice of the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and I for Outside the Box every Tuesday from 8 to 9 p.m. talking Stars, hockey, and more. Outside the Box every Tuesday from 8 to 9 p.m.
Need to send a message? Send it with cake. Congratulations. Here's a congratulations chocolate rum cake from Beatrice Bakery. Thank you. Say thank you with an amaretto cake. I'm sorry that I accidentally hit your mailbox with my car as I was backing out of the driveway and then continued right into your prized petunias. You say that with a lemon drop cake. Everybody knows that. Beatrice Bakery in downtown Beatrice or online at beatricebakery.com. Here to help you say whatever it is you need to say. Welcome to our world of yum.
If you're talking, they will hear you.
Why are we getting killed like this?
Kyle's not here. Got caught drinking beer in the park a couple of nights ago.
Really?
Yeah. 0 tolerance. He's out for the season.
Harsh.
Hey, he knew not to drink. We've made that clear to all of our kids, right?
No, not really.
Bill, if we don't tell them what we expect and why they shouldn't drink, how are they going to know?
Sponsored by SAMHSA and Nebraska DHHS. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Gray Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street.
Hi, this is Sean Callahan with Koppel Chevrolet GMC. New vehicle production has been increasing, but the lots will not be filling up anytime soon. In fact, most vehicles are being pre-sold and are leaving the same week as they arrive. If you want your new Chevrolet or GMC, this is a great time to build a vehicle and place an order. Our sales team will work right with you to build the exact vehicle you want. At Koppel, we appreciate your business and sell vehicles at a fair price. So come check us out or visit us online at koppelcars.com.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Casey's General Store is giving you the chance at winning 2 free tickets to a Nebraska home basketball game this season. Stop by any Casey's location in Lincoln throughout basketball season, enter your name into the registration box, and you'll have a chance to win 2 tickets to an upcoming Nebraska basketball game. Every drawing will occur at least 24 hours before the game that has its selected winner. So make sure to get to any Casey's in Lincoln today for your chance at 2 free tickets for Nebraska men's basketball games.
Southeast Community College is training tomorrow's workforce today with our nearly 60 career and technical programs. We are doing our part to help employers fill vacancies during this current labor shortage, graduating students with skill sets employers are seeking. We're also helping to upskill the workforce by adding short-term credentials like certificates in many programs so that employees can get retraining quickly. Learn more about upskilling with SCC at southeast.edu/academics. SCC, your path to possible.
You're listening to One-on-One with DP, brought to you by Beatrice Bakery on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You gotta run to the ring and grab the ropes and shake them.
The tweet to Carmelo has been sent.
Oh, this is so good.
We'll
what did you say? What did you say?
I said, I kept it simple.
Okay.
Said, dear Carmelo Anthony.
You did not.
I did. Dear Carmelo Anthony.
You're so stupid.
My boss told me he would buy me one of your Syracuse jerseys if you reply to this tweet. That's it.
That's kind of lame. You should have went in great detail.
I was gonna
claim.
Well, that's what I thought, and then I thought it looked lamer.
You should claim being
because I was
going
gonna
to
say
one fan.
I was gonna say this
really
is one
not.
of the few jerseys that I need before I can stake claim to being your number 1 fan.
Right.
Because right now I'm sitting at number 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I looked at that. I had it all typed out, and I thought, no.
Daggone. Okay, so we'll see how that is. Rashawn
I could
Jackson,
look.
the
He hadn't
captain.
seen it yet. I could delete it.
No. He's seen.
I don't delete tweets
He's
though, so
seen
that's
it.
my thing.
He's seen it, even if he doesn't acknowledge it. We were talking on the break, and again, the way the conversation came up was there are certain people that, like, I'm not impressed by people unless they do something that I can't do.
Mm-hmm.
Like people who do the stuff that I do, I'm not impressed by. But if you can do something like you can whip up a 7-course meal, but from memory, I'm impressed by that. Like I tell the swimmers and divers last night, me on the 3-meter putt, no,
Hard pass.
You better do. Like I can do the pencil dive, and she's like, "What's a pencil dive?" And I says, "Where I jump off of it and go straight into the water." Like that's
I put
the
my
only
arms
dive.
at my side. I put my toes.
That's the only dive.
Go in
And
the water.
by the way, if you go and check out the podcast from the gymnastics team, the swimming and diving team, and then we had the bowling team. We had two young ladies from the bowling team do their pilot demo. And the stories that were told, first of all, to have the bowling team talk about the moment they knew they had won the national championship. And to watch them glow of that moment where they pick up the spare and then Shannon Pulaski goes, that just did it. We won. That moment, and have them go back in that space. To have the swimmers, the young lady, Audrey Coffey, swims a mile, right? And she was talking about they swim 17 miles every day. And I'm like, okay, first of all, no, like
I don't want to run a mile.
First of all, you are a different kind of human being than the rest of us, because you are swimming. She said 17 miles a day. And then Reagan Hensley said, "Yeah, we do like 100 dives a day." What do you? So Aubrey's told her. She said, and during the race, she said she's swimming, and she said for the first like 500 meters, she's kind of bored because she's just waiting, looking like she's trying to burn everybody else, and she's just looking at the people around her swimming. And she's like, "Oh, that person's kicking too hard. They're gonna die later on. Like they're gonna drive." And I'm listening. I'm like, "You are a shark." Like this was. What? And then she said, "Yeah, that sometimes I get tired and I just throw up in the pool."
Oh. Excuse me?
Bruh, I'm like these nighttime shows. If y'all in that,
y'all called me to a ride.
Vashawn, this is like
in the pool.
Like she says, no, you just go to the edge. She says you just go to the edge and then keeps like whatever, right? And then Kenzie Roby, she's on the gymnastics team. She's warming up for me. And she's practicing the vault and she's running down. And as she's 3 steps away from the launch, she feels her ankle pop. It's her Achilles. So they put her in a boot. This was 2 Fridays ago. They put her in a boot.
Mm-hmm.
They're competing this weekend. She's competing in all 4 events.
Are you hurt or are you injured?
Oh, she's
Look,
both.
That's an Achilles.
If she's injured, she can't go. I don't care what you say.
Rashawn, this is what.
No.
But the thing is, even if you hurt your Achilles, like that's different.
Yeah, if she tore her Achilles, right?
If you strain your Achilles, you're one bad move away from it tearing.
Yeah, she strained it, or at least that's what
she could not.
That's what the story. You hear me, right? Like
she's built different.
Just to hear. Hey, listen, and the throw up part.
Right.
There's football players that when we there's a lot of
conditioning.
During conditioning and stuff like that, they would pop.
No, we would always have trash cans, especially for basketball. We would always have trash cans at all 4 corners of the gym, because the first 5 days we don't even touch a basketball. Like we're just a track team in basketball shoes, right? Like
running lines.
Like we go. Well, no, what we do is we run systems, but learning the systems requires that you just run the floor and get into those things, and you do them in the same game sequences that you would use. So it's a teaching mechanism, but you also find out who did work in the off season, because then trash cans become best friends. But I didn't know. Like I asked the bowlers, how many balls do they throw in practice each day? It's like 500. Could you imagine your arm, your shoulder, after throwing?
My arm gets tired after 2 games of bowling.
500. What?
That's a lot of balls.
Vershawn, like I'm listening.
I'm just thinking about the frames. You got 10 frames. You get just say you went 2 balls per frame.
And I mess around and just get the super light ones after a while.
So 20. What 500 divided by 20 is what? What's that? 30. Right at 30.
Like that's crazy. Like the amount of work that
Something
you're putting
like that,
in.
25. So
imagine what you're doing a month.
You're playing 25 to 30 games.
Right. And so
a day.
I was
my shoulder hurts.
Right. So
I
and I went and said again, the things I'm impressed by. The athletes now work way harder than we do for longer periods of time.
Who are you talking about?
So me as a college athlete, the amount of work that I put in and talking about my 100 swings on my own, my 100 reps in the outfield, 100 reps at shortstop, 100 reps running the bases, all those things compared to what the baseball players do now is nothing. It's a vacation. That's the off season. This woman is swimming a mile and puking in the pool to keep it going. No.
She said,
So-
I got to keep going.
Yeah. All right. Vershawn, we're going to hand it over. And then the captain show's next. Don't go nowhere. Post up.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes